All right. Okay, I would like to start this meeting of the New Paltz Town Board at 7:09. And I have a motion to start the public hearing. I have a motion to start the public hearing.
And then we'll.
Sure, so moved.
Second, on favor?
Aye.
All right, the public hearing for the Municipal Separate Stormwater System Annual Stormwater Management Program Plan. On favor? Aye. Okay, anyone here for that? Right. For the,
Is this-
do you want to speak about the stormwater management plan? Okay. Then we will leave that public hearing open and continue with the rest of the meeting. I'm now calling the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America.
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, who would like to read our land and labor acknowledgement? this meeting? Okay, do you have it?
Be regular.
Do you have it, Randall, or do you?
Regular script, yep.
Okay,
Indigenous land and Black labor acknowledgement. The town of New Paltz humbly acknowledges that we are on the traditional lands of the Munsee, Esopus, and Lenape people. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 forced the people to relocate to inhospitable territory far from the Bountiful Valley and mountains we inhabit today. The town further acknowledges that much of the physical structure of our town and village was built by enslaved Africans who labored as the property of their owners until 1827 on this very land. We acknowledge the contributions, resilience, and accomplishments of the BIPOC community who have overcome historic injustice to inform our past and inspire our future. Please visit the resource library on our website to learn more. We encourage residents and visitors to learn more about the contributions and sacrifices made by the indigenous people and enslaved Africans by visiting these sites.
thank you, Randall. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? On favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we have some announcements. The first one is that the New Paltz Rabies Clinic will be on Wednesday, May 21st from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Town Highway Garage, which is 52 Clearwater Road. Vaccinations for rabies are $15 each and will be administered by Dr. Lori Stein, the traveling veterinarian. Heartworm medication is also available. Rabies certificates will be presented at the completion of the vaccination. These certificates are essential for licensing dogs where they reside as required by New York State law. Dogs must be leashed and cats must be in carriers, cash or check only. Thank you. Kitty, would you like to do the one about Earth Day?
Yes, I am just looking it up. Oh,
Oh.
you printed it. How?
Mhm.
Okay, the 22nd Earth Day Fair will be sponsored as always by the New Paltz Interfaith Earth Action, Caring for Creation Committee, and the Climate Action Coalition. It will take place at the Dutch Reformed Church. As always, it is on Saturday, April 26th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., rain or shine. Free, family-friendly, fun-filled events with children's activities, healthy food, and live music. This year's theme is Our Planet, Our Power, and is a zero waste event. See you there.
Thank you. Oh, there's going to be a touch of truck and electric bus too. That'll be fun. Okay, we have two other announcements. One is about the annual Ulster County Coolest Recycling Drive of 2025. The refrigerant management group from New Yorkers for Cool is pleased to announce it will be collaborating with the town of New Paltz, the New Paltz Climate Smart Community Task Force, and the town of New Paltz Reuse and Recycle Center to host the Coolest Recycling Drive of 25 in Ulster County. During May of 2025, we will run a central collection site for refrigerant-containing appliances at the Reuse and Recycling Center on Clearwater Road. Other climate smart communities, libraries, and public service organizations are invited to participate in the drive by having drop-off events in their own community and then bringing their worn-out refrigerant-containing appliances like refrigerators, window air conditioners, and dehumidifiers to drop them off at no cost. And at the conclusion, they will be collected at the Reuse and Recycling Center. Those dates, and for those of us who live here in New Paltz, May 6th from 9 to noon, May 20th from noon to 4 p.m. and May 24th from 9 to noon. And then the other one I have, let's see what, oh, what, this is, no, there's one more. This is a cool one I just heard about today. Ulster County is excited to announce the return of its trailblazing initiative, the Nature Bus, kicking off during the week of Saturday, April 26th, and running every Saturday until the end of September. Spearheaded by our county executive, Jen Metzger, in partnership with Ulster County Area Transit, which is UCAT, and the Department of Tourism, the Nature Bus offers residents and visitors the opportunity to explore the county's breathtaking natural and recreational attractions such as the Sojourner Truth State Park, Mohonk Preserve, Minnewaska State Park Preserve, Black Creek Preserve, Walkway over the Hudson State Park, and Kingston Point Beach. And it's all free of charge. So that sounds like a really cool thing. Okay, any more announcements?
No.
Okay, now we're ready for public input. Mr. Ford, you going first? Okay, great, thanks.
Good evening, my name is Steve Ford. I'm a 50-plus-year resident of New Paltz. I'm a teacher at the high school, assistant principal, teacher at the campus school. I ran a youth theater for 15 years. And now I can add to my resume the terminated and fired police commission. I've come here to take the town board to task. First, I believe the board behaved in a shameful way in their treatment of the former chair of the police commission, Cindy Sanchez. You not only did not reappoint her to one of the 2 vacant seats, you did not even give her the courtesy of an interview after 3 years of exemplary service. Now we come to the latest Trumpian move by the board, the termination and firing of 3 police commissioners for what I see as reasons other than was stated in the letter I received 2 weeks after the board made the decision. The board never spoke to anyone on the police commission, never wrote us a note, never had a meeting with us to discuss the concerns the board might have had with the police commission. When I was appointed originally to the commission, I thought it was because of my standing in the community, being an honest, straightforward, and fair person. I did not see myself as a hatchet man for the board. In my entire 3 years on the police commission, I thought one of my main roles would be working to solve problems between a community and a police department. Of course, there were other ones, hiring people, things like that. My entire 3 years on the police commission, we had 2 complaints from members of the community. After looking at the body camera video from one, it was the complainant who should have been arrested, and the policeman commented on his patience and professionalism. The second complaint was brought to the board, was referred to the chief and resolved without any further need for the board to be involved. There was not one complaint of racism, not one complaint of harassment in any way, not one complaint of undue use of force. I doubt that there are many police departments in the country that could boast of only 2 complaints. Instead of complaints, we got letters and emails expressing gratitude for service rendered by the police department. So why does the board feel it is necessary to fire 3 commissioners? It doesn't make sense. There must be some other motive that has not yet become apparent. Of course, the board did manage to reconfigure the commission so that when they fired the 3 commissioners, they still had a police commission. If it wasn't for what I think is my continued standing in the community, I might feel that the board tarnished my reputation, but I don't believe that is true. But I think the opposite is true. that the high-handed Trumpian way the board has fired 3 commissioners. They have damaged their own reputation in the public eye. I know that I personally am disgusted by the decisions and behavior in this matter. Finished.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Anyone else for public comment?
I do believe that we have a discussion of the police commission
Okay, we're doing. public
later,
comment
but I
right now.
just would like
Kitty.
Steve to know before he leaves that it is on the agenda.
You can see he's left. It's okay.
Christopher Palmieri, and Amanda may have heard about
Yes.
this before.
Yes, sir.
On South Ohio Road. My neighbor has it's the residential side of the road, and he has a junkyard going on. And I was trying to get together with the neighbors, and I have petition, and I have, which I'm gonna drop off to, the town, building inspector tomorrow. Well, they filled out all the complaint forms.
Mhm.
Something that you've heard about, right?
Oh, yes.
And I could even show you on them, I have my surveyor's map to show you on there if you'd like to see it. I have pictures
Yeah,
of the
So,
junk cars.
so you're right. No, to take him to the building department
Okay.
tomorrow, and they definitely know about it. Yep.
Even the map.
The map, it will be good for you to.
I'm
So-
happy to look at the map. You went to the
Yeah.
trouble of bringing it.
Yeah.
Kitty.
It's from 2009, but the survey month doesn't change. And it's actually near, I got a little bit torn, it's actually near wetlands. This is the owner, and this is me over here. This is actually me here. My sister owns this property in the back now. He's got the junkyard pretty much right here.
what's the address here?
Well,
I'm number 58, he's number 54.
South Ohio.
And so here's the wetlands right here. And I feel that all the he has broken construction equipment, like 25, 30 cars in there, storage containers. And again, there's the wetlands right here.
So guys, this is well known in the building department, and we have a new director there, and they're going to be moving on this.
Yeah, maybe I can speak with him tomorrow.
Yeah, please do.
If he likes this, if he likes.
I think you need to also make appointments to go in, right? You need, I think that's the
well, that
process.
just guarantees that he'll be
Well,
there.
yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
mainly go there to drop off all this,
But we are appointing
there really quick.
our new code
That's my
enforcement
petition that I
officer
got together.
tonight.
No, okay, Kitty. He's not a code enforcement officer. He's the building director.
Well, he's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of them in the office actually know what's going on, and I just wanted to voice out here a little bit.
So you're closer to 4455, does that?
299.
299, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, did you want us to keep this, or do you want to give it to the building department?
I'm gonna. I think actually they have a copy.
They do already?
Copy machine here, that's the only one that I have.
Oh, then,
Oh,
okay,
Let me
please.
get you really quick,
Yeah,
I
I've seen,
signed the petition.
I think I've seen this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Seen it when you were.
I did.
upstairs?
No, I did.
Okay. So the concern, maybe you could drive down the road and you look to your right and you see
Right.
junk cars.
Our new building director has seen it. Yep. It's at the top of his list.
Thank you. Some of their wells might be pretty close to the wetland. I
Mhm.
feel that may feed the spring for my oil. Thank you, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming,
Thank
Mr.
you for
Palmieri.
coming.
All right. Anyone else here for public comment? You sure? Okay. Okay. All right, then let's move on. The consent agenda. We've got a whole bunch of stuff on here. Do you have a motion to approve this consent agenda? Second, Amanda, let's say our names for Rosanna. Any discussion about any of these items?
I just have one question about the UPSU. Do they still submit vouchers or is it just a lump sum payment?
My understanding, it's a lump sum payment. I think vouchers would be a great idea, though.
Because I remember signing vouchers last year, so this is a change.
The main thing is that new employees get this amount, not just people who have been there since January.
All right, well, I will check and see, because I do remember signing a ton of vouchers for new shoes and uniforms.
Definitely for uniforms, yep. Okay. Anything else about the consent agenda? Okay, so we approve it. On favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay. Now, the next one we have is a public hearing on an annexation petition, which is. Wait, did we? Oh, yeah, this is all the minutes and stuff. Well, this is it right here. Okay, so we received this on March 19th. And as per law, we set the hearing at the time that we could to make sure it got posted as required by law. Now, the applicant has come back and said that the applicant and the
Yeah.
the applicant and his attorney are unavailable on May 15th, the date that we set, which is a time of one of our meetings, which means we know we have a place and we know we should have a quorum for that public hearing. And the applicant has said that they are unable to make it at that time. We've also learned since then, despite what we had been told, is that it should also include the village board. So it's the entity that's letting the property go and the entity that's receiving the property. And so we would be happy to put out an invitation to the board to join us on May 15th. And let's see if they're able to.
Well, you have just said in 2 minutes what it took me all day to
Aw.
write. But yeah, I mean, I was surprised and concerned to get the letter requesting the date change because the same person who submitted the letter requiring us to hold it on May 15th subsequently wrote to us and said that he is not available on that day.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go back and look at the timeline. This is a public hearing for a piece of property that is outside of, it's in the town, but there's a piece of it that is connected to SUNY New Paltz. And it's about 120 acres
123.9,
of
but they only want 60.
vacant farmland. And it's proposed for 612 bedrooms, largely as student housing. So the letter that we got, which was dated March 19th, required us to hold a public hearing within,
Well, we had to publish the public notice within 20 days, which
Right.
we did so
Yeah.
at our meeting, when we had it, the
Yeah.
very next day we published it, so it would meet that deadline and be out.
so it was
before the-
in the Daily Freeman.
Mhm.
And then yesterday it was in our weekly paper. So the
Because we put
public
it in-
has seen it and they are expecting the public hearing to be on May 15th. So I subsequently attended the village meeting. I don't know if you know that there's a town and a village government. We have two governments. Excellent. Okay. So I attended the village board meeting to see if they had also been approached to set a public hearing. And in fact, Mr. Sturthout, the same person who gave the letter to us, did go to the village board, did request a public hearing. So I was fully expecting to hear from the village board about either setting a simultaneous hearing or separate hearings. But we didn't hear from the village didn't hear from us. So if at that April 9th meeting, Mr. Sturthout had said, by the way, I can't be there on May 15th, I would request a different date. I think we all would have had a bit of a heads up that maybe that date isn't going to work. So we complied with the timeline set by this document. Both our village and town board, the main criteria for annexation is it in the overall public interest? So this project includes multiple units for student housing. It also calls itself a multifamily housing project. But it's of significant interest to SUNY students. And my concern is it in the interest of SUNY students to set a different date after you all go home after graduation, right? Graduation is May 16th. So as things stand right now, it's May 16th to the 18th. You have a month if you want to comment on this thing and tell us how you feel about this project. maybe you will when you go home for your summer jobs. But right now, you will still be in town if we hold the public hearing on May 15th. So that's one question. And then the other question is, because the public has been the public has been waiting for this since February 6th. We had it on our agenda. The applicant was not able to actually make that meeting, so we kept putting a placeholder. And the neighbors particularly have been saying, when are you gonna put this back on your agenda? So they have been waiting to hear. They all think it's May 15th. So I think the question for both our boards is it in the public interest to postpone the hearing that everybody now has seen advertised in the local newspapers and on our board meetings? If we reschedule it until June, then we have 90 days to prepare a finding statement. So we're into September before, that might be finalized. So just because I spent so much time on it, I'm repeating everything you just said. But I do think you've come up with a good plan, which is let's propose to keep it on May 15th. And ask the village and the applicant if that works for them. And let the village and the applicant come back and say it absolutely can't be done on May 15th, even though that's the date we requested. And if we do go to May 15th, let's have it be a joint public hearing, right? And invite the village to be here with us.
So that's right. If the village is unable to do it on May 15th, then our fallback would only be June 5th, because it's only fair to
Mhm,
the applicant to give them a date they have told us and asked for.
mhm.
And they have said they would wait. They're the only ones who can bring us to suit about not meeting these timelines. So now if they propose a different time, then, but the first step is, let's just see if the village trustees are able to meet with us on May 15th.
And the only thing that I would add is if in fact it is determined that the village and the applicant can't do the 15th, that we get something in writing that they waive the fact that we have moved this outside of the statutory required
Right.
time period that this was supposed.
I think
happen.
the letter we got said that although they had requested that date, they would waive the
Yeah.
requirement. But that does bring up an interesting point, which is if we hold the public hearing on May 15th, we could have a continuation until June 5th. And that would give everybody, the applicant, the public, the students, time to think about what they heard on May 15th. But that would require the applicant to waive
Okay.
the 10 days
So
after.
let's take it a couple of steps at a time, see what happens.
I do think it's important that the applicant present something for us. Do you know what I mean? It's important.
Well, okay, then you're talking yourself into a different corner. So let's just
Uh,
take it one step at a time and see what can happen. I find it hard to believe that this law firm is a big deal law firm, only has one attorney. Now,
Yeah,
maybe he's been on this for a while.
On the masthead.
Yeah, there's a lot of names back here in this, so
How many LLCs are there in this?
I don't want to go into. So let's just take it one step at a time. Let's propose this and see what we get as counters and what we can do. But we are perfectly wanting to do the right thing, and we thought we were.
Well,
So
we
I
were,
don't like being
but,
taken
I
to
mean-
task for that.
Right, this required us to hold a public hearing by May 15th, and we complied with that.
It required us to notice it by the 9th of April, which we could only do right after our meeting by getting it into the paper on that Friday, so it'd come out by Monday. So I mean, we had no choice.
Okay.
All right, okay, so all in favor of changing the date of the public hearing? This is the motion right now. No, this is the motion, this is what
Yeah.
was in there. Are we in favor of changing the public hearing?
Well, why is that the motion? I mean, I would be,
Move it. Let's just say we're gonna move it, and then we can say, no, we want to do.
I would just be, I would rather we were discussing a different motion.
Okay, you make a motion.
All in favor of requesting that the village join us for a joint public hearing on May 15th. Say aye.
No, wait,
Right,
Motion,
that's the
second,
motion.
Second.
on favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
And then amend that to say, and if that's not possible for them, we'd like to hear back from them about an alternative.
Okay, so let's,
I'm
Right.
giving myself a friendly amendment.
okay, Kitty, come on. All right, so we're gonna contact them about this date.
Okay.
All right. Authorization to approve the April warrant in the amount of $601,933.56. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We signed them both, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Authorization to approve Lyle Nolan's resignation from the Town of New Paltz Planning Board effective 11 PM on April 14th, 2025. Second, we so much appreciate Lyle's service. I think 17 years, I mean, it's an incredible amount of time on the planning board.
Yeah.
He is one of the most dedicated and prepared planning board members you'll ever see. So he was been a real asset there, and I know they're gonna miss him very much. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Authorization to approve the appointment of Matt Pillock as a member of the Recreation Committee for a 5-year term expiring December 31st, 2029. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second, Amanda. Any discussion? Is he here? He was maybe gonna try to join, but I don't see him. Okay.
Call the question.
Well, if you wanted to talk to him, we can see. He was gonna try to zoom in.
Well, he wrote a great letter and, I think if people go to the trouble of applying, that we should appoint them.
Think the Recreation Committee will be glad to have him and have another member, so. Okay, we'll go ahead and take the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Authorization to approve hiring Lyle Nolan as the Director of Planning, Zoning, and Code Enforcement effective April 15th, 2025, the salary of $82,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, what we didn't do here is probably note that we will have an opening on the planning board that'll need to be filled, so we'll need to post
Ah.
that.
Good point.
So we will do that. Okay, authorization to approve the No-Mow May resolution.
So moved.
Second, any discussion?
It's voluntary.
Yes, it absolutely is.
But
We
if you
still have
don't mow
signs.
your lawn, your neighbors can't yell at you. Just-
There'll be signs. If you want a sign, come to town hall and you can get one of the signs so that people know you're doing it on purpose. You're not being sloppy.
Basically giving our pollinators a head start, right?
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right. Approve the Chiefs and Police Commission's recommendation to hire Kevin Lundell as a part-time dispatcher at step 1 part-time dispatch rate effective April 22nd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, Amanda. Any discussion?
Call the vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the New Paltz Regatta discussion. Okay, wait, did we miss something? Okay, back in the consent agenda was authorization to approve the following town-sponsored events that do not require fees: the Memorial Day Parade, the Halloween Parade, and Holiday Hoopla. The regatta, interestingly enough, has not been one of those ones that's, it's been off and on because of COVID and stuff. They're trying to really build it back up again this year. And so it is happening, and they have put in their application for the parade, which is approved. They have worked something out with the police department to have police coverage. I'm doing the discussion before I did the motion. Let's do the motion. Okay. This is discussion, but okay, so so the thing is that we do make sure that anything that's town sponsored is covered under our town liability insurance. And this year I did ask, does that extend to the water? And there was like, don't know. I said, well, you're putting people out in things that aren't really boats, and there's kids and there's everything. So maybe we should make sure that our insurance covers that as well. And so I think that discussion also happened at the village board. And so one way or another, it is being covered. But what we could do is authorize the 2025 New Paltz Regatta to be a town-sponsored event that does not require fees. So that's the thing we're sort of thinking about. So do I have a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second, do you have any thoughts about doing that?
Well,
Okay,
my question is if other events happen in the town and people pay their fees for them and have their insurance and pay for the police, because I remember when I was on the commission, they would come and
Mhm.
get the permits for the parades and things.
Mhm.
That same process and procedure should apply to any and every event that takes place in the town. I don't think anybody should get special dispensation. Everybody should pay their own freight for these types of events. That's just.
Okay,
you
no,
know.
that's fair. We did just authorize 3 of them to be no-fee town-sponsored events. They're like historic, right?
well, the holiday hoopla is new.
That's kind of new.
And I remember going through this last time I was on the town board, we say that a lot around here, because we had, all the sports parades and Easter
Ah,
parades
mhm.
and St. Patrick's Day parades, and it was getting to be a lot of money. It's because of the police overtime, because of course they're always on weekends or evenings. So I think that as long as it is officially announced that this is a town-sponsored event,
Mhm.
right? Because I know that somebody, I think it was Matt, oh gosh. Max Kimlin is, I think he's donated $500 towards creating the events. In any case, as long as all of the publicity and, hoopla says this is a town-sponsored event, then it should be a town-sponsored event, and we should waive the fees.
So what's the definition, or how's the decision made about it being a town-sponsored event?
That all of the announcements say sponsored by the town of New Paltz.
So how do they come to the board and ask to be sponsored? Like, how did they get that?
I think there should be a criteria if, I mean, I don't think we should just let people say the town should do this.
Well-
You know,
Well, we do have a process for a parade permit,
correct.
and that it can be, yeah, you're right, it can be any, it can be any event. I mean, it's
But-
pretty hard to say what's town-sponsored. I mean,
Well, we waive it for these historically town-sponsored events, Memorial Day, Halloween, and now Holiday Hoopla. But there's Rock the Ridge, there's a million events that require police services that are not sponsored by the town, and they fill out the parade permit and get their own insurance, which we see. I think the regatta is kind of a historic legacy
Mhm.
event. But if the MOA is between the town, oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking
you're
at
reading
the
something
page.
else?
So it would be an official town-sponsored event, and it's up, we can talk to the regatta committee and just say, just make sure that it's understood that by waiving this fee, you are a town-sponsored event.
Right, so I think it is important that this actually, it's generated in the town, it's from the town, by the town, for the town, unlike the Ride for Mental Health, which comes from Albany and comes, these are different. They're sponsored by people from outside the town who want to come through our lovely town and use and so that's different, but this one is actually, it's, what's it, FOMO? No, that's the one, that's fear of missing out, but it's something like that. So it's by the people, for the people, and, because of the people. So maybe that's that's the criteria we use, that it's
Well, we do turkey trot too, right? Turkey run or whatever it is after
on
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. I don't know who
That's a
sponsors
good
that one.
question. Oh, family.
Family does that one?
But we, subsidize family,
Right.
so I think that. And it's not sponsored by the town, so, yeah, they get all of their own, I mean, they start working on it in August. But that is Family of New Paltz event, not a town-sponsored event.
Well, I mean, I think you could say any of these are not exactly town sponsored in that they don't start here at this board or with, in the town hall or village hall. But they have, again, like you said, historically, and they are done by a group of people in the town who get together and, put it together. So
Right, I mean, I think we asked the chief for an estimate of what it costs in police overtime to provide for the public safety, and it's at least $1,000 per
yeah,
event.
well, the
So,
worst one is the one that's on a holiday. If it's on any holiday,
Yeah.
then it's really expensive. So, or if they're lengthier or longer and they have to have more
Right.
people, it's at night and it's more of, concern. Gosh, I was supposed to do that. Okay, so where does that leave us, folks?
well, I think think
I
it's
got an
just-
all or nothing down here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just, there are liability issues, right?
well, we have the insurance, right?
Okay. I mean, Memorial Day, what are the three? We got Memorial Day,
Halloween,
Halloween,
holiday.
because that's a big one.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
big
Yeah.
parade, and what's the
The holiday hoopla. That's
holiday
a new one. That's 3 or 4 years old, I
Yeah.
think.
hoopla?
I mean, the regatta has been around. I don't remember when it started. It started with engineering students at SUNY, thinking this up. And now, unfortunately, with the weather and stuff, it's moved more into the summer so that,
I mean, I don't object to the regatta. What I have an issue with is the expense within the police department.
so the regatta committee is paying for that this year. They've
Okay,
come up with the money. They've discussed this with the chief. And so they have arranged to take care of that.
so we've gotten a check for that.
Not us, the chief. It doesn't come to us. It goes to the police department.
Okay.
So who is this request actually coming from?
Us, because it's.
Authorization to approve, but who requested that we approve waiving the fees?
Who requested it, whether it's a town-sponsored event or not, that's what we're trying to address,
Right.
because then that would be the outcome.
Mhm.
But should the regatta, one of these kind of historic events, I don't know
Mhm.
how long it's been going on, but it's kind of one of those things that New Paltz is known for. And it kind of had, got squished during COVID, as many things did, and now it's trying to make it come back. And it's the thing that, it's just a fun thing to use our river and,
Oh, it's a wonderful event. I mean, Kathy Cartagena, it was it was a fundraiser for family for years. They did the rubber ducky race, right? And you would bet on your duck and yeah, then actually I mean, we don't need to
Still
do
a
that.
fundraiser for family?
I don't know, but let's,
Can ask the committee. I
we
don't know
can
what
ask
they're
the
doing.
committee. I mean, without Kathy Cartagena, I don't think that could ever.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, do we have to,
there's people.
is this something I'd like to get more information about how we've gone about picking those things that are historically done and sponsored by the town. I'd like to get additional information about how all these requests come. I mean, what I, hate to sound like Essie, but
Process?
process.
Mhm. Okay.
And to me, it's, at what point I might want to do something and want the town to does that make it a town sponsored event? I mean, I just want to know that there is a process in place for absorbing the
The
cost.
$25.
Well, whatever it is.
That's what it is, $25.
20, I
And
thought it was
police
275.
No, it's $25 for a permit for a parade.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But there's cost for police there
Right.
that is worked out with.
So when you turn in your request for a your parade permit, you describe it and it goes to the police and they determine whether or not it would need coverage. And then it's up to them to say how much that would be, and then it would be back to the applicant to figure out how to deal with that. When it's town sponsored, these ones have typically been very focused, on Main Street, just a few blocks long. And police are there to stop the so nobody drives, on across streets and stuff like that. So they'll park their cars there or whatever.
So that process has changed, is what I'm hearing. Because when, here we go again, when I was on the police commission, they got it, and those permits also went to the town and the village to sign off. It wasn't left up to the police department to decide if somebody was going to have an event.
No,
in
okay,
town.
you're misunderstanding. The
Okay.
parade permit comes in, it comes to the town clerk. They get all the information. It goes to the police department and the village to notify them, and the police decide what may or may not be needed. So when it's Rock the Ridge, it doesn't go through Main Street or everything. The police are, not being asked to direct traffic or stop yet. But when it goes down Main Street, you have to protect people, so they have to
Correct.
block off the intersections. So they will make that determination, and then it goes back. It actually comes to me finally to sign off on, to say yes or no, we're gonna do this. But the $25 is the permit to just get the whole thing started and have everybody looking at it. Whatever the police decide is needed, it's up to the applicant to take care of that. My understanding is in the past, until just this very recently, this regatta, the police chief waived the fee because they recognized it as a community event by us, for us and all that. So they didn't charge. That doesn't mean that the police officers weren't getting overtime for being there, or hopefully they were there on their normal shift,
Hopefully.
Well, it's a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, somebody's on duty then,
Mhm.
but I don't know if they have to bring in backup because,
It depends on how many streets they have to back. If it's not at night and it's not like thousands of people showing up, and wandering around and standing
it's
on the
mostly
streets
the
and stuff.
bridge.
No,
you
they
know,
closed the
all
bridge.
one lane of the bridge.
One lane,
and-
yeah.
And then, yeah, so, I mean, it is a kind of legacy event
Yep.
in the town. And I thought we were talking about a whole lot more than $25. I
That
thought
was
the
a
fee was
different,
275.
that was to get the additional rider for the water.
Oh.
So ours, Nimer, whoever's it is, it doesn't cover necessarily a water event. So it was just being cautious and making sure we didn't overlook that we said, let's make sure we can take care of that. Now, my understanding is, I don't know exactly where that, actually, it is not my understanding, because I don't know exactly where that's landed. So we can, delve into that.
Well, I mean, I don't object to it, but I can't say, yeah, because I don't have enough information to
What
analyze.
would you still like to know?
The process of how we go about choosing events and making them town-sponsored events, the liability that the town incurs with respect to making events town-sponsored event, I mean, it's just.
Okay,
it's-
so
And I mean, I don't want to get into that
No, I
here,
know.
and I don't object if you guys want to vote to do whatever you want to do with it. I'm just
I
throwing
think
my
you're
stuff out
right.
there and
If-
I'll abstain. So
So-
it's not a no. It's
Right,
just an
so there's a
abstain.
process for any parade. You're asking about the process for making it a legacy town-sponsored event.
Correct.
And I think the criteria could be defined, and you could start a draft if you'd like to. I mean, we don't have, we're just kind of going their legacy, they've always been happening. So maybe it should have some kind of history in New Paltz. It should be, only sponsored, only being put together by New Paltz residents or something like that.
Yeah.
So if that's it, then great, because we don't have anything like that to just do a checklist.
I'm remembering 12 years ago when I was on the town board, that time Sally Rhodes and I were tasked with coming up with criteria for mutually approving parades and fees and routes, and we came up with alternative routes that would be a lot less expensive than going down Main Street, leaving the middle school and going down Tricor, or whatever those are, not Tricor, Lincoln. Somewhere in our files, there is this discussion. We did have it, and I'm pretty sure that, and I think it came about because all of the sports leagues were requesting.
They want to all do it.
Right, and that just became an overwhelming amount.
There's a lot of sports groups, yes, there are.
Yeah,
Okay, so what we're asking today is whether we do this for the regatta for this year only. So this would be a one-time thing. We can continue to work on this. And we can get more information. So Randall, you can understand how our liability insurance works, which we pay for, whether we're doing a parade or not. And Kitty can talk about if it's wise to do alternate routes, but everybody likes to stand on the sidewalk on Main Street because there's so much space there and you can sit
Well,
on
the
the walls.
alternate routes were cheaper for the parade people. So we should just dust that off and let people know.
People,
Well, if you have it, you can
Yeah,
send
okay.
it to me, but I don't want to go into it,
Okay,
but
I will.
again, I'm not objecting to the regatta. I just want more,
So-
and I will abstain and you guys can still.
we can't.
Oh,
We,
why?
then we don't.
With
if you
three,
have
you
the
have
four,
three
then
unanimous.
We need all three.
Oh,
votes.
three, okay,
But
fine.
this is, okay, all right.
Yeah, okay, we'll
Okay.
do it. Whatever.
Okay, so do we want to approve the 2025 regatta as a town sponsored event that's not require fees? That's the motion,
For this year,
this year only.
just this year only,
Mhm.
okay.
Not
I'm-
in- not in
I'm-
forever.
I'm good with that, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll second.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Okay, I hate to tell you, but we were actually supposed to do a resolution for No Mo May, not just say it's okay, but we have to do, well, there it is. There is the No Mo May resolution,
What is,
the No Mo May resolution.
oh,
We said we wanted to do it, but we need to actually have Rosanna. Take
take roll.
Okay.
Yes, so,
So I can move that we reconsider the no-mo
we just need
item
to,
on the agenda
Okay.
and move that we approve that, what is that there you got?
so first we're
Not
gonna,
there.
this is a resolution. So
Resolution.
before you get that far, we are going to do a roll call. Rosanna, can you help us out?
Supervisor Amanda Gatto,
Present,
Councilmember Essie Lewis, who is absent, Councilmember Randall Leverett,
Present.
Councilmember Edgar Rodriguez is absent, and Deputy Supervisor Kitty Brown.
Here,
all right. This resolution is offered by Councilmember someone,
Me,
Randall, and seconded by Councilmember Amanda Gatto. Okay, you want to hear all the whereases? Whereas the town of New Paltz wishes to expand pollinator-friendly habitat on public and private land, encouraging the community to adopt sustainable pollinator-friendly land management practices. And whereas the town of New Paltz is in a unique position to significantly increase pollinator-friendly habitat by encouraging pollinator-friendly lawn care practices and by asking its citizens to take direct and meaningful action on their own properties. And whereas ideal pollinator-friendly habitat is comprised of mostly native wildflowers, grasses, vines, shrubs, and trees blooming in succession throughout the growing season, is free or nearly free of pesticides, is comprised of undisturbed spaces, including leaf and brush piles, unmown fields or field margins, and provides connectivity between habitat areas to support pollinator movement and resilience. And whereas the formative period for establishment of pollinator and other insect species and the many songbirds and other urban wildlife species which depend upon them occurs in late spring and early summer when they emerge from dormancy and require flowering plants as crucial foraging habitat, and these opportunities are dramatically reduced with early spring leaf litter removal and grass mowing. Reduced. Therefore, is it resolved that the town of New Paltz recognizes No Mo May to actively promote and educate the community about the critical period of pollinator emergence, generation of crucial pollinator supporting habitat and early spring foraging opportunities, and be it further resolved that for the duration of the month of May, the town of New Paltz shall not issue citations for excessive weed growth in order to encourage homeowners to delay lawn care practices until June, allowing pollinator species to emerge and early flowering grasses and flowers to establish. The question of the adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly put to a vote on roll call, which resulted as follows.
Supervisor Amanda Gatto,
Aye.
Councilmember Essie Lewis is absent, Councilmember Randall Leverett,
aye.
Councilmember Edgar Rodriguez is absent, and Deputy Supervisor Kitty Brown.
aye.
Resolution was duly adopted. Thank you, Rosanna, for your help. Okay. Okay, what else have we got here? Now we're at item 10 on the agenda. Authorize the supervisor to sign a 5-year lease with Nycom Co. in order to continue providing radio equipment and communication services for the New Paltz Police Department. Do I have a motion? Thank you. Do I have a second? Amanda Gatto seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, authorize Chief Sutton to spend up to $4,000 from the New York Police Department seized asset account in order to purchase new scheduling software. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Thank you, Kitty. Go ahead. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, discussion of chapter 34. Even though our council person Edgar Rodriguez is not here tonight, he was going to lead this discussion. This is where we talk about chapter 34 is in our code about the police commission. It establishes the police commission. It sets forth their duties and responsibilities when they are taking over that role from the town board. And we are been working on it to clean it up a little bit. There's some places that needed clarification. There were some things that were inconsistent or confusing, and we wanted to make it as strong of a code as it could be and needed to be.
It needs better focus,
Yep,
is what it needs.
yep.
So, I'm sorry that, Steve left. We have been struggling with chapter 34 since January 1st. I think it was on our reorg meeting. And at that point, we promised the police commission a joint meeting that we would all meet and figure out what wasn't working in chapter 34. And, both the town board and the commission have been deficient in the way that process has moved forward. I have spoken to the 3 commissioners who no longer appear on our town website. And unfortunately, neither of the town police commissioners are here tonight, and they are the people who have spent the most time working with the police commission. But I'm not going to make the motion tonight, but I would like us all to think about, first of all, we can only have 5 commissioners. One mistake we made was to appoint 6, so that was our bad. I would like us to consider going back to 5. Their terms end at the end of this year anyway. And get the police commission and our new commissioners, get the former commissioners and our new commissioners together to work on chapter 34, because we aren't getting it done. We keep kicking it down the road. Chapter 34 has been on our agenda since January. But I think the people that it affects, which is the police commission, should work on it. So I'm not going to propose it tonight, but I would like to consider getting our police commission back up to 5 people. The people who are no longer on the masthead, I think, recognize that there were deficiencies in the way they were delivering service and in the way we were delivering service. So I would like to amend that, and so I'm just putting it out there for thought, not for discussion tonight, unless somebody wants to discuss it.
Well, it's always been my position that the police commission exists because the board delegates responsibility for the oversight, the efficient operation, and the management or the assistance of management with the police department. It receives complaints from the community with respect to police action. It is not, you know, a group of us who go out into the community to talk about what's going on in the police department. It is there to assist the chief in managing the function of policing.
But it's more than just complaints.
Correct. It's more than just complaints. It is a full and thorough understanding of the Police Benevolent Association, PBA contract, how that contract works with chapter 34, and what the responsibilities are for members of the commission. Now, when I sat down, nobody spoon-fed any of that stuff to me. Nobody had to talk to me about what I was supposed to do. It was written. And my expectation for anybody who sits on that commission is that they take those 3 documents, they live it, they learn it, they sleep with it until they understand what their roles are with respect to carrying out our responsibility that we've delegated to them in helping the police department operate efficiently and effectively. It is not reconfiguring the police department. It is not turning it into a community sounding board. It is there to make sure the department has the resources that it needs. It is there to make sure that the police represent this board and this community in the way that we want it to be represented. It's to make sure that they are not abusing residents of our town. So there are a whole slew of things that a commission is supposed to be doing. And I don't think that we need to sit down with people. It's not a ceremonial position. It is a working, functioning body. And those people who sit in those chairs ought to be able to take the information that is given, that is the law, that is the PBA contract, and it is chapter 34, read it, learn it, know it, and then apply it to how they work with the chief and managing the department on our behalf.
Excellent summation. However, as we learned last year and in January, chapter 34 is flawed, right? And it needs to, they're just,
Well, it's not
Parts of
gonna
it
be
that don't-
fixed by the people who
well,
haven't taken the time to learn and understand it.
it was the town board that wrote it and gave it to them.
Right, so then
Right,
we
so-
need to do that.
And I want to point out, it's not this town board.
And
That's
it's
been
not
since
this town-
1987.
true.
It's the
Not-
Same one, and it's
Right.
based on state law. I mean,
Right.
it is
Right.
based on state law.
Right.
And I will, once again, I will also say that it worked pretty flawlessly
Well,
when
I guess.
when I was on it for
okay.
5 or 6 years. So there's a
Gonna
law
throw
that
this
worked.
into my thought parking lot, which is that if we do recommission the commission, we could have you as the liaison. And I think that you
I'm
could bring.
totally
Tom-
fine with that.
Great,
I mean, I would be willing to do that. I have my files in,
I just think
Town
it will
hall.
get this thing moving. I mean, that there are reasons that our 2 commissioners can't be here tonight. And there will, it's nobody's fault, but,
we don't
We're-
need to reinvent the wheel. And we had that conversation
right.
last
So,
meeting, and I'm happy to take that on. It's
okay. We,
it's almost ingrained in
know. Okay.
Well, if you
in my
want-
DNA
if
at
you
this
want-
point.
If you want the experience for getting the new, and there's gonna be turnover anyway, but if you want someone who's done it when it worked well, when it was being done properly and efficiently, then Randall is an amazing resource. And he can
absolutely.
help us get back to that place.
Yeah.
But that's,
Okay, so we took.
All right,
we
so I
took
got
a
that, and now I have the
Regatta.
the
and
regatta.
parades
All right.
no, it's not the
I'm
regatta.
done.
Stock
My
raking
work is
regatta.
done.
all right, okay.
All right,
Randall?
what else?
Toots? Okay, the next one we have is the discussion of, is anybody in the,
Oh,
wait,
Dylan,
wait.
is he, I don't think is he here?
Wait, we got Joanna?
Oh, look,
Who is,
Pilot is-
okay, great.
Mm.
Okay, so before we do that,
Dylan wrote to me today and he is
Okay.
ill and will not be able to
Okay.
attend this meeting.
okay, so I'll talk about this in a minute, but
Okay,
since we have the recreation director and we have our newly appointed recreation committee member, would we just like to tell them that we're very happy that they're both here tonight and that we're very happy to be able to appoint Mr.
Mr. Pilot, is
Pilot.
that your name? You're muted.
Pillock.
Pillock,
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 okay.
okay, great.
Well, you have a baseball cap on, so
Yeah,
that's a good
sorry.
Okay, so, right, so we were very happy to receive your application to be on the committee, and I know the committee's happy to have you. And you will find you're gonna have lots of good work to do, because Joanna
Excellent.
is a ring-tailed tutor out there as our recreation director. She's got Lots of good stuff going on. So,
Excellent.
very good.
I
Did
look
you-
forward to it.
Do you have
Yes.
anything you wanted to ask us or to tell us?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I think I can definitely add a lot to the equation, trying to manage the facilities and fields and things like that. So I think it'll be a good mix. And I've met some of the other folks on the board, on the committee already. So
Very good.
He's gonna be
Excellent.
a great addition.
great.
Excited to have him.
I just want more golf, that's all.
And you're gonna be leading the swing dance classes, is that?
not me. I can't dance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
We
thank
had
you
our
both
first
very
one.
much.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, really? Did you get a good
Yeah.
turnout?
Oh,
It was a
good.
great turnout. Yeah, everyone had a lot of fun.
Okay,
Good.
You
okay,
get
thank you
all
both.
that.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you.
Sorry to make you wait. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us to our discussion of, so PCA is the, I always forget what this stands for, the Partners for Climate Action
There you go.
in Hudson Valley. And they are an amazing group that thinks very creatively about how to support climate protections and stuff. So one of the things they've got, there's a program now, they called it Funding Futures, and it's designed to help build community consensus. So they're actually putting together a program that the communities in the Hudson Valley would apply for, and they will choose 4, and it'll be a 1-year program. They will provide up to $22,000 for staffing, events, and communication. They're going to train and support and organize community conversations by having a person who was, like Dylan would be the applicant that wants to do this apply on our behalf for the
Mhm.
town. And they must have or be from a willing partner at a tax exempt organization, that would be us, okay, right? To receive grant money from them. They have to be based in towns in the counties of Greene, Columbia, Dutchess, Ulster, Orange, or Putnam. Okay, we beat that one again. A letter of support from the town board is required. No matching funds are required, but they certainly are not discouraged. So I'm sorry that Dylan couldn't be here because he's trying to kick this off. There is a sort of timeline for doing all of
What is
this.
the deadline? Do we know?
I don't remember,
I-
and
I
that's
think
why he
it's
needed to tell us.
May-ish.
I think it's Mayish also.
Does
So
this person have facility and experience too? I'm assuming they're grant writing?
no,
It's
No.
no, it's
not-
community outreach.
Okay,
And so the
Right.
grant is coming from these folks, the
Okay.
PCA, to do this. And so this is.
he's
kind of a-
gonna do the outreach for.
He's
the
gonna
money
get the
that we
training,
then.
he's gonna get the training to use it to do these community events. So he's gonna have to put together, if he's chosen, he will be in a session that helps them learn how to put together a plan, an outreach plan, and then, coaching as to how to implement it. So they're trying to really build people to work, so providing funding to help build the expertise and to do this kind of community outreach around climate issues
Okay.
in some communities, yeah.
So again, no issue with it. But I want to make sure that we do not get ourselves behind the 8 ball with getting grant money to do something that people become accustomed to. And then when the grant money dries up and we have to.
It's a 1-year program, it's a
okay.
one-time shot.
Okay.
It's just to do this
Yeah.
thing. If we get chosen, then someone who is Dylan, who'd be a very good, candidate, because he's really involved with Climate Smart and just a whole lot of other things, would be the person who would go through this whole thing and bring some value back to us by helping with these outreach, things. And then maybe it would be
I need to look at.
it would be maybe like a framework for how we could do this for other things as well, whatever he learns from it.
I
You can have
think
that.
if he sounds like he may, okay, deadline is May 23rd. You've done some of the online sessions on this one, or is that a different one?
The same people had what they called, what were they calling it? It was when climate smart community groups were just getting started around, and they wanted people to do like leadership training, like do sessions for them about how to be a climate smart communities task force and stuff like that, yeah.
So if Dylan has a potential job conflict coming up for this. So I just think that, you know, if there are any students out there who might be interested, you know, just write to the supervisor. Dylan just wrote today to say he might not be able to do this just because,
Okay.
right? So,
Oh, we need to get this out there.
Partners in Climate Action, supervisor at townofnewpaltz.org.
When did he write this? Why did he?
I didn't get it.
It's about 5 o'clock today.
I didn't get it.
So, you know, he found, well, I don't know.
We don't have to talk
Right,
about his private stuff. Okay, well, I mean, good for Dylan if he has a conflict that's even
Yeah.
better than this.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, this could pay up to $22,000 to the person who's doing it.
Okay, so since we know that he can't do it, we
well, we
may,
don't know, but,
should we table this until,
No,
No,
this is just to
students
tell
should
you
be
about it.
heard.
This is just telling you that this program exists. And yeah, May 23rd is like a month from now, right? Because it's
Okay.
17th. So if Dylan determines he is unable to do it, yes, we should ask people to apply. And we should go back to Climate Action Coalition, Climate Smart Communities, you know, all these other folks that are working together on these kinds of things. Like, you said Earth Day. Yeah, does Earth Day, they may know of somebody, but if we
Kitty
get
should handle that.
well, I am the liaison
Oh,
to the
good.
Climate Smart Task Force, but I don't, are you guys around this summer, year, or, yeah, you all go,
No.
okay.
Yeah, the thing I think would be, we could reach out to the Student Affairs Liaison at SUNY to see if they have
Absolutely.
anyone. But yeah, the timing
Oh,
is that it goes
Yeah,
to,
I wouldn't be good at that because I get yelled at for putting the recyclables in the wrong
oh,
bins. and so
no, but Brian Obach,
have to keep
runs a
changing them.
sustainable program, so.
okay,
We'll get in
okay.
touch with him, okay.
all right, okay, so that was the discussion, okay. Authorization to, okay. Authorization to approve adopting, this is actually the local law to repeal chapter 41, the towing list. We agreed to the changes, the revisions to it. Now what we have to do is do seeker and then just actually do the, so the first thing is that we, that's that, where's the seeker? We did the public hearing on it already. Everybody remembers that, right?
Yeah.
And we've had the public hearing. Okay. Okay, so here it is. This is a resolution at the regular meeting of the town board of the town of New Paltz in said town on the 17th day of April, which was convened at 7:10 p.m. The meeting called to order by Agato. Rosanna, can you do our roll call again, please?
Supervisor Amanda Gatto,
Present.
Member Randall Leverett,
Present,
Councilmember Essie Lewis is absent, Deputy Supervisor Kitty Brown,
Present,
and Councilmember Edgar Rodriguez is also absent.
Okay. The following resolution was offered by Councilmember Gatto, who moved its adoption, seconded by
made,
Randall. To wit, whereas the local law to repeal chapter 41 towing list of the Code of Town of New Paltz and to adopt a new chapter 41 towing list of the Code of Town of New Paltz was introduced. Actually, it's been introduced several times. Whereas any project having a potential impact on the environment must have such impact determined by a lead agency pursuant to the state act and town code. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of New Paltz designates the town board as lead agency to determine all environmental matters. And it's further resolved that the town board of the town of New Paltz has compared the proposed action as described in the environmental assessment form parts 1 and 2 with a list of criteria set forth in 6 NYCRR 617.12 and determined the application proposed is a type 2 and no further action is required to be taken under the act. That's it. So that's it. We've declared ourselves lead agency, we declared it a type 2 and it has no further action. So now we're voting on that?
Okay.
Rosanna?
Supervisor Amanda Gatto,
Aye.
Councilmember Randall Leverett,
aye,
Councilmember Essie Lewis is absent, Deputy Supervisor Kitty Brown,
aye.
and Councilmember Edgar Rodriguez is also absent.
Okay. So based on that, then we can do a notice of adoption. Rosanna, you just fill that out, right?
I fill out the notice of adoption, but you still have to adopt the resolution that adopt it as a local law.
Okay, so here we go again. Do we have to do roll call again?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have to read that? How many pages?
No, it's,
Okay.
the resolution is that we are, local law to repeal chapter 41 and adopt a new chapter 41 proposed as local law number.
This is number 2 of 2025.
Okay, was introduced at the meeting on the 17th day of April. And whereas the purposes is to provide for a townwide system consistent with state and federal laws for the equitable distribution of tow calls within the town, to provide tow companies with clear and concise requirements for continued service to the community, to expand the tow list to eligible tow companies capable of responding to calls within a minimum of time delay, and to generally protect the public from unethical or unfair business practices on the part of private towing companies acting at the direction of town police. And notice that the public hearing was held. We held the public hearing on a couple of days, Rosanna. You've got that, right?
Yes, I have all the dates already filled in.
Okay. We published, whereas due and proper notice of such proposed local law and of the public hearing to be held was given, and the public hearing was held, now therefore be it resolved that the town of New Paltz adopt a certain local law entitled Local Law to Repeal Chapter 41, Towing List of the Code, and adopt a new Chapter 41, Towing List of the Code. And we get to vote.
Supervisor Amanda Gatto,
Aye.
Councilmember Randall Leverett,
Aye.
Councilmember Essie Lewis is absent, Deputy Supervisor Kitty Brown,
Aye.
and Councilmember Edgar Rodriguez is also absent.
The resolution was thereupon duly adopted. Now I think we're done. Thank you, Rosanna. Okay, what else do we have? The department head reports, hopefully everybody's seen them. There's lots of stuff here. I hope you appreciate that they continue to provide these every month. I think it's important for the board and the public to know what our departments are doing. It's the business of administering all the services that this town.
You want to
relies
just
on?
read the names of the departments, just so people know, and because
Finance, recycling, police, highway, and building and grounds. Turn the page, clerk, the pool, recreation, and the assessor.
and are they on our website? And
These
there's
are part
a
of the
lot
agenda.
information. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's great.
It's really good information. Oh.
Stuff you just had no idea was happening.
Yeah,
But the people who need these things do know about it and are, grateful for them. And we are happy that our folks are providing them. There were liaison reports. Randall, did you have one you wanted to talk about?
yeah, and you had some news. So have you had you appointed Bob Fagan?
Well, Bob was there. I mean, it was essentially, he's always been there, but he was acting as a coordinator for the
Right.
town. So he didn't have a vote. They were guiding what he was supposed to be doing as the
Mhm.
paid contractor for public access. So now that he's sort of retired, he's still there. And they were like, can we give him a vote? And I was like, why not? I mean, he's got all the historical background and other folks come and go, and
Technical
he's all,
know-how,
yeah,
yeah.
he's got the technical know-how. So they did that. We talked about dealing with the franchise agreement renewal. I'm gonna take the lead on that on Amanda's behalf, and then we'll coordinate with the village, because Alex wants to make sure that both the town and the village franchise agreements are signed and done with. Let's see, they discussed maintenance for the equipment that we have. Some of it is not ours, it's theirs, it's the stuff that they use, and so they're pretty resourceful for things. They even go out shopping on eBay for replacement parts and things that
Wow.
they need to fix. And then to answer your question, because I noticed it when we were authorizing and signing the invoices, and one of them, and your question to me was whether or not they would be able to use the internet
Right.
that was there. And the answer to that question was no, because their line is secure to make sure that nobody can break in and
Mess it up.
mess it up and upload things. But they did say they could, the rec center could share public access's
Oh.
line, but there's a caveat to
Okay.
that. So it would save us the $90 for
One,
that
two.
fee. But the caveat to that is we run a secure and a guest line. They wouldn't have the capability to do that, but they could run just the guest line. So the secure line that we have in the community center would have to go bye-bye. Because that's.
Okay,
for
we'll have
your
to talk
service.
about it, yeah.
But I just wanted to let you know that that is an option. But it would just be, they would be able to have the guest line for people who are in the community center. And there would be no business line like we have in town.
So the problem is we're using that, it's being used by the recreation director to do Edmonds, so I don't know that we can do that.
Right, so
Oh,
They just have to keep their own and keep. it secure,
right, so I investigated, I'll let you know that we can do it, but that's the caveat or the catch-22 to doing it that way, to say
So-
that.
a really exciting aspect of being on the town board is that every month we go into town hall and we have a stack of what are called vouchers or
Mm.
purchase orders. And each one of them has receipts and they're signed from all of our different departments. One town board member goes through all of them and makes sure there's enough money in our budget to cover them, pay them, page after page, make sure we weren't charged sales tax. And then we write each other little notes. And because then the other town board member comes in. And I had a question about why are we paying 2 internet fees for one building, which Randall said. Then after we go through this stack of vouchers, Amanda gets to go through them and give the final third off. And so that huge amount of money that we just approved before, the
Mhm.
$600,000, that's a result of all 3 of us, this happened to be Randall's and my turn, going through page after page after page of vouchers submitted by each department head. People going off to conferences, getting reimbursed for their training materials. So that's why we get an A+ audit every year.
That's right.
Basically making sure that nobody overspends their budget. And if
Sure.
there's no money in it, we don't sign it.
And sometimes we question things and say, whoa, did not get done properly, didn't follow our procurement policy or
Right.
something, and then that's a learning moment for
Mhm.
folks. Yep, so, yeah, okay,
So
so
that was the answer to that little love letter that you left on that invoice, so
So, but,
it's possible, but that.
it
there's a
would
caveat.
never occur to me to ask that question if I wasn't in there saying, why are we paying, $90 twice for the same building?
Yeah.
So that's how we nickel and
And
dime
so
our budget.
actually, yeah, so we're actually paying. We agreed in a contract with the Public Access TV group that they will be monthly paid and that their internet bill is theirs to pay because now we're giving them the money to do it.
Right.
Right, that's what that fee is. It's to pay their internet
Right.
bill, but we were trying to eliminate, I think it was like $93 or something.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 110 is what's in our contract for them for internet. And then they had more for Vimeo.
No, this is the recreation invoice.
Recreation is 90.
That's separate. Okay,
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
She left a note on the invoice for the recreation department
wrong, yeah.
for $93, and she wanted to know if
Why could
we
the
could share,
public access
right,
share?
and, but,
Yeah, cannot, they're separate entities and they have to stay separate.
right,
Okay, all
but
right.
it is possible, but
Okay.
losing the secure.
To be
No, but
continued.
Okay.
Not, Don't
And
even-
then we reviewed the franchise, the items that we put in the proposed for the
Mhm.
franchise agreement that we showed you, that we
Right.
shared with you.
right,
So, and then you've got something scheduled already for coming up, right?
not
No,
particularly,
didn't.
no, I mean, that's just something else that's happening. It's
Okay.
not part of this, it's
Yeah.
somebody asked me to do something. So I think what we need to be clear about is the public access committee has responsibility for Channel 23, which the FTC, you know, requires that there be an option for a public access channel. And Spectrum Charter has agreed that they would provide it. And it's this Public Access Committee's job to maintain it, to run it, to make it happen. The content, what they put on it, whatever, that is something else. It can be, we're not paying for content or creating content. If they choose to go out and solicit it, whatever, to put on, their job is to just make sure the Channel 23 is operating.
It's operating. It's public educational and
Right,
instructional, so,
right.
you know,
That's
they
what-
can
yeah.
cover meetings like this, which they probably are.
Right, they upload them.
Yeah,
But it's not at our
simulcast.
request and not, no. So we can, if we do require assistance with something like getting this, you know, if we have a problem with this one getting saved or whatever, they can do that and we will pay them for that. We will pay them a certain amount for a limit of an hour's worth of time a month. But anything else they do is they're doing it.
Oh, they're bringing back a slice of New Paltz,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, one of the things we're gonna work on putting together a full broadcast schedule. And we're going to see if we can, I mean, these are things we talked about at our meeting last week. We're gonna see if we can't be included in the scroll guide that Spectrum has for cable, so that Channel 23 will show up there so that people can, you know, schedule these wonderfully enticing, exciting meetings that we're participating in tonight.
mhm.
If they get bored one day and they want to watch.
It does show
what
up on
we
the
do.
scroll guide now. It shows up Channel 23 Public Access. And when I opened it up, it was a long ago
Yeah.
parade from someplace. I don't think it was even from New Paltz. It was from someplace else. So
Yeah.
whatever they just used to download it. I think we should have some discussion about that as to what they're operating it as a public access channel for New Paltz, what they choose to put on it. I think we should have some idea of what it is.
Well, the thing to remember is that public access doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to the people of New Paltz, and they can put on it whatever they want.
Well, I think
One of
we
the
should
things
still be
that, just let me
notified.
finish.
Yeah, okay.
Let me finish.
Okay,
Part of what they do on our behalf is people submit things to them and they have criteria that they
Okay.
must follow. So it's not like I can walk in with whatever I want and make them, you know, there's some
You fill out a
guidelines that,
form.
right, you fill out a
Okay,
form, there are
okay, good to know.
guidelines that go on. And we don't participate in that process. I don't tell them, oh, you can't say this, or you gotta say this, or you've gotta come, you know, they make those decisions. Their sole function is to manage the operation of that station, much in the way that the zoning board of appeals manages our law with respect to somebody wanting a fence that's 4 feet or 6 feet instead of 8 feet. That's what they do. And it's the public's soapbox that is required under the Cable Act of 1984. And if we ask for it, and they have asked for it, and, you know, it's part of our franchise agreement, which is why I guess we should not object to paying for the internet to put the information up there, because it's part of the franchise agreement.
right.
So it's kind of like the whipped cream on Sunday.
Okay. Maybe sometime they could show us what that form is like what the criteria are, so we
Oh,
didn't.
it's on their website, but
Oh, is it?
it would be good now that they're really up and running again, if they sent out some press releases or Facebook or somewhere that just says, if you have a home video of your mother's 90th birthday and you want to put it on public access TV, go here, fill out the form, and we'll get it on.
No, they're working on that, and I do
They
believe
do
that
have the form.
yeah, they have a website. I mean,
Okay.
it's a form
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we use. I mean, I was on it when, oh my God, years ago.
Before there was TV?
No, yeah, right,
But
right.
I
Um,
don't think that the public knows that
No, I
they
don't
can
think they do
submit
at all.
home videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we can, I mean,
High
we
school
can,
graduation.
we can work on that, but I do know that in my, one of the things that I impressed upon Joe when I sat down with him was, there's stuff that's going on at the college and they have kids there doing, and not kids, they have students, I'm sorry. They have students there who are doing documentaries and things like that for their
Exactly.
classes, and
Yeah.
those I would like to see us highlight and feature things from those students that are probably very, very, very creative.
We got 2 requests, and I don't remember exactly what the name of the class was, but it's one of their projects they have to do before the end of the year. 2 different students want to film out on Butterville because they want a rural setting that doesn't have too much traffic to, distract from whatever it is they're trying to do. And one of them actually we have a film production, just like we have a parade permit, we have a film production permit. One of them actually filled that out. So yeah, there's stuff like that going on.
So maybe, and that could probably be one of the additional forms that we put up on the site, because they do have a website,
Okay.
NPZ
that
TV,
NPZTV.
npztv.org. And it's, there's a link there for submission. And the Public Access Committee's job is to take those forms, get that content. They probably review it to make sure it says what it's supposed to say, but they don't have to, because, I mean,
And there are
They do
certain
it
things
for
that are
standard.
explicitly prohibited.
Correct.
I'm not gonna mention them, but.
Okay.
It's all on the
they'll-
website.
Yeah,
They
it's
put it on the
there.
website.
But other than that, it's pretty artistically free.
Yeah, yeah. So they do that for us. So that we don't have to worry about it or put it with the recreation department or something else.
We wouldn't.
Oh. So how do we work? So now in June, we have the regatta, we have Juneteenth.
Yeah, they're gonna talk to Essie about that.
Great,
They're
okay.
gonna talk to Essie about that. They even wanna start covering some of the sporting events that are done in at our public schools, for
Oh.
parents who have to work and they can't get to their kids' soccer game, or they can't make the play. They wanna be able to stream those things live so that people can record them. And, if dad, mom's a lawyer and they come home at 11 o'clock after putting in 14 hours and they can, I didn't miss it. I saw it, so, there's some,
Or send it to grandma.
yeah, I'm a big proponent, as you know.
Yes, we know.
Because
That's
I'm
another
a
thing you
former
signed up
TV
for.
guy.
You signed up for this one too,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I'm a big TV guy.
Okay, do we have any other, no, I guess we don't. I'm not sure about closing the public hearing on the stormwater thing. I would like to keep it open for another, because we haven't heard back from the ENCB and it's a requirement. It's a federal requirement, it's a state
Can we
requirement.
keep it open a month? Is that what
We
you?
can just keep it open till at least our next meeting and see if we get any more or not.
It's a federal requirement that we hear from the
not a federal.
ENCB,
No, it's a requirement that we post it for public comment.
right?
So we have done that. It would just be nice to see if anyone does in fact.
Oh, I move it and keep it open.
Okay,
Vote?
yes,
To vote, is it roll call or?
we'll just keep it open.
Okay.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? No. Terrence?
I move we close,
No.
adjourn, I'm sorry, I move we adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Thank you. Thank you, Rosanna.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Rosanna.
Thank you.
Bye.
So
Aye.
what,